Read all the stories about BYU sports no one else has heard. Go to KSLSports.com for exclusive columns by BYU insider Mitch Harper. That's KSLSports.com.
Welcome back into First and 12, a weekly look at Big 12 football. Mitch Harper and Alex Kirry with you. And, man, this league continues to just ramp up the intensity. We're to week 11 here on the schedule. The chase to Arlington is in full swing, and that means there's a lot of headlines to get to in the Big 12.
12 headlines.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
The dozen storylines that shape this week of Big 12 football. Headline 1.
All right off the bat, of course, everybody is waiting with bated breath to see what this Texas Tech and BYU matchup is going to look like. Of course, College Gameday committed most of I think it was, Mitch, what was it? It was like basically the afternoon of that Saturday night or Saturday afternoon late. We had already known that BYU was and Texas Tech were going to be hosting College Gameday down there at in Lubbock. And so lots of attention paid to these teams, and that's what you want. I don't know if I love a 10 a.m. kickoff, but hey, Texas Tech has already had some success with a 10 a.m. kickoff this year, coming up and beating the brakes off of Utah in that second half at Rice-Eccles Stadium. So second week in a row, the Big 12 is hosting College Gameday. They've gotten a lot of attention to these national shows this year, Mitch.
Massive stage for that game. Again, we'll have more on that coming up a little bit later. Headline 2, Texas Tech last week took down Kansas State, as you noted, 43-20. Ended a 8-game losing streak that the Red Raiders had against the Wildcats. Wreck 'em. First win in Manhattan since 2008. Red Raiders had 5 takeaways, and Joey McGuire's making the case for his linebacker Jacob Rodriguez to win the Heisman after 2 forced fumbles against K-State.
Listen, you know how it works, Mitch. The only time a linebacker is going to win the Heisman is in my college football NCAA 2026 game. There's no other world where they're going to let it happen. The headline 3, K-State, they were playing well at, 12-7 at the half. I mean, really, when you see the good Avery Johnson, man, he's good. And then you just see the turnover-prone Kansas State Wildcats at some point, and it just did not look good. And that second half, they absolutely blew them up on that one. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that was a game that I think people were looking at and going, well, maybe Kansas State could steal it from them. No can do. Texas Tech walks away with that win, and Kansas State absolutely looking not very good at all. Headline number 4, Utah blasting Cincinnati. They were wearing the All Blacks. It was nighttime at Rice-Eccles Stadium. That is absolutely a recipe for disaster for other teams. 45-14, though, I don't think we could have imagined that. The Utes right now, 138 points in their past 3 games on the offensive side of the football, and they're just absolutely stifling teams on defense, too. They're really good right now, Mitch.
And that showing, I think, was a big reason why you saw Utah tonight at number 13 in the initial playoff rankings. Headline 5, Cincinnati quarterback Brendan Sorsby was 11 of 33. Utah shut him down. They didn't have running back Evan Pryor for the Bearcats. Disappointing performance for Cincy. They still can be in this Big 12 race with only 1 league loss, but a missed opportunity for Scott Satterfield's squad.
Speaking of guys named Scott, how about Scotty Fox? I think 6th or 7th or 8th or 9th on the QB depth chart with West Virginia before the season started. In all seriousness, the 5th-string quarterback goes and gets it done. Rich Rod gets his first Big 12 win, goes on the road, and, of course, beats nationally ranked Houston, because that's how you do it in the Big 12. You can't just do it normal and beat a really bad team. You got to go into Houston, who was looking like such a good upstart this year, and then their season gets absolutely stabbed in the back by a loss to one of the teams that we were wondering about what they were going to look like in the future. But Rich Rod gets the win, and Scotty Fox getting 222 yards, 65 of those on the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns. Hey, maybe that's their quarterback of the future there at West Virginia.
And you're right, Houston was a great upstart story, but their fans no-showed both on the field and in the stands. It was a poorly attended game for a top 25 team. Complete no-show, I thought, from Houston. They got to step it up as a fan base. They've got great athletic history, but their fans, it's too much of a pro down. Let's see the Coug fans roll out and show up for Willie Fritz's squad. They're still a good team, but that was a missed opportunity last week. Headline 8, don't bury Arizona State yet. Sam Leavitt, he's out for the year. We heard that on our sibling station, the Arizona Sports, that Kenny Dillingham noted that Leavitt was going to have season-ending surgery, but
Right.
ASU goes to Ames and still gets a win at Iowa State, 24-19. Quarterback Jeff Sims ran the ball 29 times, and they get it done.
Yeah, maybe this is where we owe them an apology because neither you nor I thought that they were going to go in there and get it done at Iowa State.
No.
Speaking of which, Iowa State, how about a 4-game losing streak for Matt Campbell and his guys? The Cyclones are 5-4 on the year, but those 4 in a row really hurt for a team that was in the conference championship last year.
And biggest losing streak since 2022 for
Jeez.
Iowa State. Headline 10, Colorado feels like they've given up on the
Oh, my
season
goodness.
completely. Arizona crushed the Buffs 52-17 in Boulder. It feels like all the momentum from Coach Prime is officially gone. They're looking to ignite the team with a new starting quarterback in Julian Lewis, the heralded freshman. He's going to get the start moving forward, but all that excitement about Coach Prime, it feels like that's a distant memory.
Baylor, it gets you for headline number 11. They needed this win over the weekend, and they did it in a big way too. Baylor beats up on UCF 30-3, and I'm telling you, UCF right now looking nasty because they haven't. That was the first time they hadn't scored a touchdown in the game since 2015. 10 years, and Scott Frost's guys did not score a touchdown against Baylor. Baylor's one of these places that Utah has to go and play. I think after the bye week for the Utes, they got to go down to Waco and see if they can get that win. And Dave Aranda's looking to resuscitate that job again like he did last year. It's like we're doing this every year with Dave Aranda. But we'll see. I mean, Baylor looked pretty sharp against UCF. And I don't know what to expect because these teams are so inconsistent every week, but Baylor looked really nice against UCF this weekend.
And let's close it out with headline 12. You had to have been a sicko if you watched this game. Kansas beat Oklahoma State 38-21. It was only 10-7 at the half. I couldn't believe it, Alex. Quarterback Zane Flores came back for Oklahoma State. You remember he was the backup entering the season.
Yeah,
So
I barely
a little bit of
remembered.
continuity
I barely
there.
remembered Mitch. Yes, we don't remember much from him.
He's no Hoss Haney, but he still showed up.
I don't know what to think about either of those teams, to be honest. Oklahoma State, they're like, that's a win for us. We put 3 touchdowns up on the folks at Kansas. I don't know what Lance Leipold and the Kansas Jayhawks are doing right now. I don't know what they're feeling. I don't know what Colorado's feeling right now. You said it, too. Colorado feeling like their season might be in the books. I mean, there's some give-up factor by some of these teams, but then they always tend to shock you when these things happen, too. I mean, every year with all of these, Mitch, all these teams, like we'll say Colorado just gave up 105 points over the past 2 weeks to their last 2 opponents. Of course, they're probably going to win the next couple of games just to show us that we don't know what we're talking about. This is what the Big 12 delivers every week, but you mentioned it too. Of all the teams you have in front of you, you look at the way that these college football playoff rankings came out, and you say, okay, 13 Utah, 8 Texas Tech, 7 BYU. Some good representation there in the first college football playoff rankings. And then there's the rest of everybody else going, okay, can you get to that point? Why not? I mean, the reality is Texas Tech wasn't so far off. Think about when they lost to BYU in 2023 and they were 3-5 at that point in the season, and then here they are now, and BYU only won 2 conference games in the conference that year. Utah only won 2 conference games last year. It can be done. The rest of the conference probably looks at it and thinks the same thing. All right, we're going to take our next break here, get you to the bottom of the hour. We'll talk about that big game of the week in the Big 12, which is, of course, that Utah-Cincinnati game. Get some of the particulars there and what Kyle Whittingham is doing with that Utah team right now that's getting them rolling so much. So much more to go. Stay right here with us. It's KSL News Radio 102.7 FM, 1160 AM.